many hear the inspired word for the very first time? Okay. Well, I would say welcome, and I almost want to guarantee you it won't be your last time. Because what you're going to find out, this is not your ordinary open mic series. This is not a series, this is a movement. This room is played clap, clap, clap. I've played host to Grammy Award nominated singers, American Idol finalists, Emmy Award nominated actors, Golden Globe Award winners, critically acclaimed writers and authors. I mean, all come across this stage. And the Tuesday night showcase is a night where we get a fantastic open mic coupled with fantastic feature performers, and tonight is no different. Are you ready for your feature performer? I know I will. Because this brother is well known in the poetry circuit, and I call him, he's like the triple threat. Stage poet, written poet, filmmaker, right? He's been on HBO's Def Jam 4 times. He's an acclaimed poet and artist out of Chicago. He is the co-director and founder of a movement called Louder Than a Bomb, which brings slam poetry to inner city high school youth. And earlier this year, a documentary of the same name premiered. I call that the IFC Theater. The documentary is outstanding. It follows the Chicago Slam team, maybe 4 or 5 top, well not top, but 4 or 5 particular, what's the word I'm looking for? Teams, right? And 4 specific people as they whole challenge going through the teams and going through the slams and their home life and how all that came together. It's an outstanding documentary. And if you didn't have a chance to catch it, it will be premiering in October on the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey Network, right? Which will be by far the best thing that ever came on that network. Come on, let's be honest. It's been Dr. Phil, Susie Orman, and Discovery ID reruns. No. But make sure you circle October, look for it, because the documentary is outstanding. He has written several books, and his latest, critically acclaimed, that's a new word now, because I don't make mistakes. Critically acclaimed, right? We're going to run with that. That's better than critically acclaimed. Anybody can be acclaimed, but he has been acclaimed. L-Vis Lives. And it is a book that is a bold new collection of poetry and prose exploring the collusion of race, art, and appropriation in the hip-hop culture. Right? It's tearing up the charts. He's here tonight to do his thing. So what I need you to do is to start picking up the energy. As we welcome to the mic, your own Kevin Coval.
All right. Good evening, New York. You guys feel good? I want to thank the Inspired Word crew and Michael in particular for having me out. This is my actually, the case of books arrived in New York, and so this is my first time looking at the book and seeing it and reading it, so I feel really good that it's here, too. So thank you, Michael, for making that happen. The book's called L-Vis Lives, Racemusic Poems, and it is the story about a contemporary rap Elvis character based off of the real lives of Elvis Presley, Vanilla Ice, Eminem, the Beastie Boys, myself, and other white boys who think they're down, basically. This trope in American history that's kind of swung its way back and forth through time, white boys who use and misuse black cultural production to find a semblance of self. But it's this contemporary rap figure, and so I'm going to start by setting the time frame in which he emerges. This is called the crossover. It was the end of disco. All the jobs were moving or changing or drying up in the city like the river after a summer of no rain. The parents moved farther from the city, or themselves, or their families for those jobs, hours in commute, We received a key to let ourselves in after school. They would not be home till late. Sometimes they would not be home at all. Sometimes the commute was too much. The parents too far gone to see each other. Sometimes running around with other parents. Sometimes running around doing things parents shouldn't do. There were plenty of TVs and radios. There were older siblings, city-suburban sleepover camps. There was a black friend, a New York cousin, a late-night PBS airing of Henry Chalfant's documentary. There was a leak. It was Run DMC. It was Nucleus's jam on it. The house was quiet. Peanut butter spread on crackers, sandwiched potato chips. There was Bruce Lee, Saturday afternoon Shoguns, Kamala the Ugandan giant. Nothing was explained. No one home to contextualize. Everything was mixed up. Ninjas wore black like Ice Cube. Burn Hollywood, the sleeper hold, the college radio political talk show said South Africa. There was apartheid in the schools, apartheid in the lessons we sat through. Nelson Mandela was in America. His name was Chuck D. His name was KRS-One. What is a Black Panther? There was apartheid in the bus home. There was apartheid in the lunch room. The sides of the city we don't visit, we're told not to. There was apartheid on the television, Bill Cosby aside. There was a tape deck, a Walkman. There was no apartheid in the music, no separation in the library. Books endlessly check-outable. There was Holden, the hero Huey P., the wandering protagonist in the midst of all that quiet. The new music, to soundtrack the walk to school. The music, truth. The music was middle finger, fuck you. Fuck you, actor Reagan, who sent Uncle Dave crazy back into the streets. Fuck you, actor Reagan, who wore on the drugs my mom did. What you know about 3 jobs and 2 kids and running from landlords? There was no apartheid in the music. The music was solace and ammunition, alone and one in the chamber. I listened to every word, memorized all the words, recited the words into a notebook. There was not a viaduct in the music, not a neighborhood to avoid. There was not a gunnery filled with Columbus broken promises. There was not a Cold War of white flight and divorced unions. There was a hero for the people, all of the people. I wanted to be a hero. Of course, it wasn't always that fresh, you know. When you are a white, Jewish, suburban kid listening to hip-hop music every day since 1982, you do a lot of really stupid shit. Mine came at the cost primarily of fashion. I had a House of Pain necklace that I like to wear. The first day of 4th grade, I wore a pleather red Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. For my senior prom, I wanted to get a peace sign shaped in the back of my head. I didn't know anyone who knew how to give a fade, much less hook up graphics. But I went to the strip mall on Dundee Road in Northbrook, Illinois, and the stylist said, she'd give it a try. And when I got home and looked in the mirror, it was more like Pac-Man. So I had to go to my senior prom ball. But, and then there was this unfortunate true story. Call and tepid response. In my mother's kitchen, over a bowl of Frosted Flakes, it clicked. Something I'd been contemplating for weeks. I called Mark Cohn immediately, told him he should run for class president. I would be his campaign manager and introduce him to the 8th grade student body by kicking a rhyme. It was 1988. Rap had yet to hit the shopping mall. Mark was a bit skeptical, but every night of the campaign week, I worked on writing and, more importantly, how my mouth looked in the mirror when words came out. By Thursday night, I was a minute, 15 seconds of mostly Grandmaster Melly Mel mimic at the end of Beat Street. his eponymous elegy for Ramon. Rough. But in the early hours of that Friday morning, when the birds kicked the symphony near my window in the subdivision of Pheasant Creek, I thought the end needed something more. Something to move the crowd of 13 and 14-year-old North Shore majority Jewish assimilated upper income kids who liked Wham and Def Leppard. So I dug into my growing crates of memorized bits, and I hide when the B-side of the Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff Sees the DJ on the rapper tape popped into my head like a toaster pastry. That morning was pre-AIDS magic. Showtime in the all-purpose room. A cafeteria with a stage. Hundreds of chairs facing the podium. Giggles and whispers whipped the air like crickets until Mr. Feely, the industrial arts teacher and 8th grade class advisor, unfortunately named considering the rumors about his wood shop after school, introduced the candidates. Mark was in the middle, like Moni Love. But before he took the mic, I entered stage left, commanded the crowd clap their hands to a beat, which didn't exist, but all the MCs started that way, and it's true. White people are like a bootleg Rolex. We can't keep time. But I rode the jagged rhythm, forfeit my way through the written verse, monosyllabic heroic couplets regaling the virtues of Mark Cohn. The funny kid I've known since grade 3. We wrestled in my house, he rolled my dog's pee. But we got older, got tough, got bolder, got to be junior high residents. Make some noise for your next class president. Admittedly, this crowd kept quiet. But you don't stop the body rock. And I didn't have enough good sense to exit. I wanted to make Wood Oaks Junior High bounce to this. I wanted to take all our mid-puberty Bon Jovi loving energy and make the roof fire. At least spark a bit. A modest barbecue would have been nice. I wanted the cafeteria transformed into a church, at least what I thought a church might feel like. A church in Wheaton maybe, but still not bad for a room full of Jews. Undeterred, I went into my appropriated call and response. Ladies, all the ladies, all the ladies in the house, say Mark. Say Mark. Homeboys, make some noise. Let me hear you say Cone. Say Mark Cone. Say Mark Cone rocks the spot. Everybody. A little louder. One more time. In reality, a few friends raised their voice above a whisper. But in my head, I was baptized, ahead, ready and able to move the crowd. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Black is the color of all I care. Black records, black stacks, black bodies stacked, shot keeled by O'Neill English, speak back, black backslash race stars, Africa attack, black oil, black guns in the hands of blue, black foils, blues, black sermons, black sirs, ma'ams, black surgeons, eugenics, ebonics, black persons, black-eyed Susan, black gruesome, most fear when black fester, black grew sons, spores, black Moors, black Muslim, round, black cabators, what black for? Black spades dig black earth, black words I learned to speak first. So this white boy, this Elvis character, starts digging black music and ideas associated with it. Some of them are good ideas. Some of them are confusing ideas. But he starts to have all these questions because he knows that something is not right. This starts with the epigraph from Ice Cube, who said, the KKK has got three-piece suits. Cracking the code. Downtown meant dangerous if you lived in the suburbs. Then suburban kids moved to the city, their parents left, and the city became the north side. The south side, a forest we were never to enter. Public schools were no-door bathroom gang fight graffiti crack dens. The code grew subtle. East Pilsen is safe and artsy. West Bucktown, an emerging neighborhood, a racing Humboldt Park, anything raw, unexplored, unpolished, unrefined, desolate, dark. You may find riches there if you are there early, if you are the next, if this is the next hot thing, if you are willing to pioneer, avoid anything public. Housing, education, transit, avoid anything immigrant, migrant, anything with labor. The code becomes gesture, knowing looks, slight nods, a clubhouse whisper, wondering if they will pull their pants up by their bootstraps. Everyone else did. What is wrong with them? All this in the meeting of eyes, following the mention of Allen Iverson, a rapper, someone, young, rich, black. The code is coded in its decoding. I have black friends and liberal, marched with King, voted Obama, guilty OJ, Barry Bonds, an asterisk kind of nostalgia, a return to innocence before tongues were bit, when words freely flung, guns and no taxes, rage simmering became relaxed laughter, a joke about the ghetto, it being torn down, the lie of mixed income, only when condos will rent and townhomes will sell. All this an evolution of language, a slang of separation. They do oral art, physical, primitive, ancestral, folk, urban, multicultural, diverse, all this veneer and drywall to maintain the pristine of white. So Elvis is starting to feel himself a little bit, you know. He's learned some things, you know. So you know, he starts to give it a try, you know. This art that's not exactly his. It's called Snaps. Elvis learns to play the dozens. Your mama is so white. She powders her nose with cocaine. Gets free stuff at the grocery. Dainty crackers and goat cheese so white she got a supermarket in every subdivision she owns. Your mama's so white she got 7 dwarfs cleaning her castle. Mirror yes men on the wall telling her she the fairest. So white princes wage war over her glances. Troops murdering her name and men get hung just by whistling in her direction. Your mama's so white, she disappears in a bowl of sugar. Beneath sheets, she's Casper, clan maiden. So white, bread named after her. Milk, pasteurized complexion. Your mama's so white, she married all the presidents, industry of the slave owners. God to make Christmas time snowfall light like her blanket of skin. Your mama's so white, her teeth look like the Supreme Court. Clarence Tom, just a gap in the middle. Your mama's so white, she think food stamps the latest black cartoon at the post office, think government cheese a Head Start program. Your mama's so white, she got a magic marker of a tampon to know what to pull out. Stands on crystal staircase ceilings, letting domestics clean her diaphragm. Your mama's so white, she a ballerina, twisting in a music box. You can't tell when she's smiling. Your mama's so white, her tears are diamond. Blood ever clear, carbon monoxide breath. Your mama's so white, she kills herself slowly. Dickinson, Plath, Wolf, Chopin characters, rotting in secret rooms, eating fen-fen, bon-bon, soap, operatic anorexia. Your mama's so white, her insides stank. Her face is plastic and can't crack behind all that shit she's holed up inside. Thank you so much.